Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another. Well, that's the that's the first time I've botched up the opening. Yeah, well, Mangust Volume 2, number 12, figures. Figures. This is the one that I end up botching the opening. Yesterday I attempted to make this. I attempted to make this video three times. I attempted to make it three times, and each time the recording crashed. And after the third time, I figured that the universe was trying to send me some kind of a message. So I took a look at my list of all the mangas that I have yet to talk about, and I realized I messed up the order. That my number 13, Ultimo, um, I had actually placed after I had actually placed after this one on my list when that's actually my 13th favorite and not my 12th. Um, so yeah, so the universe was trying to give me a little hand there, it seems. But here for my number 12, I have 12 Beast. This is another manga series created by Okayado, the creator of Monster Musume. And it has direct ties to the Monster Musume series. For those of you who don't know what it's about, it is the story of a high school boy named Eita, whose grandfather beat ninja abilities into his brain from a very early age. He learned how to fight fight and sneak around like a ninja from an early age. And he hates it. He hates it. He'd rather spend all day playing video games. Understandable. Very relatable. I very much relate to that. And then one day, he's approached by a harpy named Arrow. And there we go. Get a good look at her. Arrow tells him that her world is in danger. The monster world is in danger. Now, how this ties into Monster Musume is in Monster Musume, we spend most of our time in the human world. Occasionally, we'll go to the monster world, but we're always confined within a certain village. We're always confined. Whenever we go to the monster world, we're always confined within the small village of the Limias, or a small village of mermaids. We never explore beyond those villages whenever we go to the monster world. We're always trapped in those villages, as if they don't want us to see what's out there beyond those small villages. Well, 12 Beast basically expands on the monster world. It does all of the world building that you would expect. And we basically get to see what the monster world is like. That Mia and Sue, Poppy, all the others end up coming from. We see what their world was like. However, we don't explicitly see any characters from Monster Musume in this series, which has led a lot of people to wonder if this is supposed to be a prequel to Monster Musume, a sequel, or something that's happening alongside the main series at the same time. We don't know for sure exactly when this is taking place compared to Monster Musume. We are unsure of that. My guess is it's probably happening before the events of Monster Musume, as in the first chapter, the one chapter where we actually spend in the human world. In that one chapter, in that one and only chapter, we don't see any monster species. We don't see any monster species until Arrow shows up, which makes me believe that this is before the interspecies exchange program happens, when people were still first discovering the monster world. So I personally think that this might be a prequel to Monster Musume, but we are not entirely sure. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we will ever get the answer. But before I get into that, let me continue telling you what the series is about. Once he gets to the monster world, he discovers that the monster world is under attack by a group of humans that are in control of these super powerful mechs that were dug up in the monster world that are based on the zodiac symbols, the 12 zodiac symbols. These 12 zodiac generals are causing problems in the monster world and are trying to subjugate all the monster races. And Eta is well equipped with a special gauntlet that allows him to fuse with monster girls. They fuse with the gauntlet and give him unique abilities based around what the monsters themselves are able to do normally. And so he ends up putting together a team of 12. He ends up putting together a team of 12 monster girls to put a stop to the 12 zodiac generals and save the monster world. And how does he go about fusing his gauntlet with these monster girls? By groping some titties. Yep, that's how it works. He has to grope titties in order to fuse his gauntlet with them. It is so ridiculous and so funny. Now, that is the main story. Now, unfortunately, I do not think we will ever get the answers we are looking for as far as a confirmation as to whether or not this is a prequel, sequel, or taking place at the same time. Because I have here the first 7 volumes of the series. So we have Volume 1 that has Arrow. Volume 2 has a Minotaur that joins his group. Volume 3, Octopus Waifu. Volume 4, my personal favorite, an ice wolf named Flake, who is the manga series actually describes her as a loser with no friends, and she wants to make friends, but she has no idea how to act normal around people. She has zero self-confidence and has no idea how to act around people, and she's so frustrated with herself, and people mistake that for meaning that she's angry at them, because she just has an angry look on her face when she's really just angry at herself for not being able to speak normally to people. Just social anxiety to the max with this one, and she is just absolutely hilarious. Love her character. A mechanical golem, a Limia, a ram, as well as a tomboy centaur that thinks she's a boy, and a lizard woman. Now, some of you may be thinking, wait, that's only 9. Yes, you are correct, because only 9 of his 12 monster girls were introduced in the series. After Volume 7 was released, it was announced by Okayado that he was canceling the series. And I talked briefly about why he canceled this series in my Monster Musume video. But to briefly summarize, he didn't want to focus on 2 manga series at the same time, and he wanted to put all of his focus on Monster Musume, as he felt like the stress was getting too much for him, which I can understand that. But it is very unfortunate that he decided to cancel 12 Beast instead of simply putting it on hold until Monster Musume could finish. Now, it is still possible that he could bring the series back once Monster Musume is finished, but it is unsure. We are currently unsure if he plans on doing that. I certainly hope that he does bring it back, because this series is far too good to leave unfinished. The world building is superb. The races, what we learned about the different races and where they come from, what their culture is like, how they eat, what they do for fun, how each race contributes to the balance of this monster world. It is such an incredible story, and I absolutely love the world building and the characters and the pacing, the story. All of it is wonderful. It is done so well, and I absolutely love this series. I do. Even though it has been canceled and there are only 7 volumes out of it, I still love this. It is still one of my favorite mangas that I've ever read. It is just that good. The 35 chapters that are available here are just incredible. They are amazing chapters. I absolutely love them. Now, as I said, it is very possible that Okayado could bring this back once Monster Musume is finished. However, knowing how long it takes Okayado to come out with a single chapter of Monster Musume, I am not going to hold my breath. It takes several months for Okayado to release a single chapter of Monster Musume, and that's kind of the reason why Monster Musume has been lowered on my list. I would have had it higher if he had stayed consistent. And the whole reason why he got rid of 12 Beasts in the first place was so that he could put all of his focus on Monster Musume. But after he canceled 12 Beast, his work on Monster Musume slowed down drastically. He canceled 12 Beast specifically so he could make chapters for Monster Musume quicker. But he's slower than ever at doing it, which is frustrating to me, because that just tells me 12 Beasts had no reason to be canceled. Because he slows down on Monster Musume anyway. So what was the point of canceling this? So it is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate that we do not have an end to the series. It deserves one. It deserves an end. Because by the end of Volume 7, he has beaten 3 of the 12 generals. 3 of the 12 generals he has beaten, and he has met 9 of his 12 monster girls. So I truly think that this series deserves to come back. Once Monster Musume has wrapped up, whenever that ends up happening, I sincerely hope that Okiato considers bringing this series back. It is too good to leave unfinished. But with that said, what do you guys think? Have any of you read 12 Beast? And if so, who is your favorite of the 9 girls that were introduced? Who is your favorite? Let me know in the comment box below. Flake is my personal favorite. Absolutely love that Ice Wolf. She's a fantastic character. So relatable. Absolutely relatable. Social anxiety is just, it's a bitch. But with that said, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. More videos will be coming up starting tomorrow. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.